All right, so OpenAI just wrapped up its latest developer day. And honestly, the announcements are making some serious waves in the tech world. Today, we're going to unpack exactly what they released and why it might just change the entire game for how developers build apps. So let's dive right in.
Okay, so let's start with this quote. Now, full disclosure, Sam Altman didn't actually say these exact words, but man, he might as well have. The message coming out of San Francisco was crystal clear. The way we've all been building software, it's about to be history. That's a super aggressive, really bold claim to make.
So, what is the single biggest announcement? The biggest bet they're making? Well, it's turning ChatGPT from a tool you just chat with into the whole shebang, a full-blown platform. We're talking about an operating system for the next generation of apps.
The idea here is pretty wild. They want you to stop juggling a million different apps on your phone. Instead, you'll just live inside ChatGPT. Want to find a house? You'll just tell ChatGPT, hey, find me a house, and it'll tap into Zillow for you. The end game here is total user lock-in.
And this is where it gets kind of weird, right? Let's look at how this actually works in practice. The AI way means instead of one tap on the Spotify app, you open a different app, ChatGPT, and then you have to type out some clunky prompt. It feels kind of awkward, doesn't it? The source material even compared it to the movie Idiocracy, where simple tasks get way more complicated. I mean, that's a seriously cynical take on this new AI future.
So this really sets up the core conflict, the big debate. For developers, the bull case is a no-brainer. You get access to a mind-blowing 800 million weekly users. But on the other hand, let's be real, they've tried this twice before with plugins and GPTs, and both kind of flopped, mainly because the user experience just wasn't there. So the real question is the third time the charm?
Okay, so that's the big platform vision. But what's powering all this? Let's pop the hood and look at the engine. We're talking about some serious firepower upgrades, major API updates that give developers access to some wildly powerful new models.
And wow, look at this. This is basically a developer's dream toolbox, now available through the API. You've got Sora 2 for creating video out of thin air. You've got the legendary GPT-5 Pro, the one everyone's been waiting for. And if you don't need the top-of-the-line stuff, they've also released cheaper models for voice and image, which makes this tech a lot more accessible.
But here's the catch, and it is a huge catch, the price tag. Because having access is one thing, being able to afford it is another. Just to generate one single hour-long movie with the new Sora 2 API would set you back, wait for it, an estimated $1,800 for one movie. That is just an insane amount of money. Yeah, and that leads us to this quote from the source, which just nails it perfectly. With these kinds of costs, you're not just building an app, you're making a massive financial bet. You could literally just start lighting your money on fire trying to build the next big thing on this platform.
Okay, so we've got these super powerful, super expensive models. But OpenAI didn't stop there. They also rolled out a bunch of new tools designed to actually make life easier for developers day to day.
And for any programmers watching, this next one is a huge deal. It's like a life hack. Think about it. No more spending hours on tedious code reviews. This new GitHub action for Codex does it for you. It checks your code, it looks for security holes, it even writes your documentation. It's an absolute game changer.
But honestly, the coolest new tool they showed off has to be AgentKit. It's basically a no-code builder for AI apps. You get this canvas, like a flowchart, and you just drag and drop blocks to build your AI logic. Connect this model to that database, then send an email, all without writing a single line of actual code. But, and there's always a but with no code, right? We're back to that classic trade-off. On one side, these tools are amazing. You can build super fast, and you don't even need to be an engineer. But on the other side, you eventually hit this complexity ceiling. The tool just can't do what you need it to do, and you end up having to call in an actual programmer to rip it all out and start from scratch with real code. All right, so let's zoom out for a second and put all these pieces together. We've got the new platform, the powerful but pricey models, and these new, easier tools. So the big question is this the next gold rush?
So, what are the big takeaways here? Let's recap real quick. First, ChatGPT isn't just a chatbot anymore. It wants to be the new operating system for, well, everything. Second, the power they're giving developers is unreal, but it comes at a steep, steep price. Third, these no-code tools are making it easier than ever to get started. And finally, the opportunity is absolutely massive, but so are the practical challenges. And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Are we looking at the actual future of how we build and interact with software? A genuine revolution? Or is this just the next big wave of tech hype that's going to crash on the shore in a year or two?